All right, thanks for tuning in to Leading Forecast. I'm lead forecaster Joseph Cooper, and wow, lots to talk about today. Heat, severe weather, as well as some tropical weather. And let's start off with the heat. There, I think that's the most important issue right now. We do have extreme heat advisories here, or warnings, I guess I should say, posted all the way from Maine down into Oklahoma and Kansas here for good reason too. Look at these temperatures right now. We're approaching 100 degrees down across southern Illinois, southern Missouri. Already over 100 degrees all the way from Massachusetts, pretty much all the way down into the Carolinas there along the East Coast. Heat indexes right now, pretty much the Rockies eastward. Over 100 degrees is what it feels like pretty much everywhere. There's a little bit of relief in a few spots, but really they are few and far in between right now. And so if you are in the eastern portion of the United States, it's not going to get too much better over the next couple of days. However, it does look like we may get a break next week across the northern portions. We'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. Current satellite image, we do have some thunderstorms going on out across northern Indiana and northwest Ohio right now. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Here's your next system. You can see the spin in the atmosphere here coming down, and that's going to create some thunderstorms probably out across this area today. And again, we'll talk about that as well in just a little bit. And we have a few little systems down here in the tropics that really aren't doing too much other than producing a little bit of rain. Let's going on over to the radar. This is the northeastern radar, and you can see there's those showers and thunderstorms that are popping up across Indiana and Ohio. That has prompted a severe thunderstorm watch. And here's your severe thunderstorm risk for the day. Moderate risk now issued out across northwestern South Dakota and southwestern North Dakota and eastern Montana. That is for wind. However, I do think there's definitely going to be the potential for some tornadoes out there. And then we do have the slight risk out here across eastern Indiana, west, and pretty much all of Ohio actually today for some wind. There's that severe thunderstorm watch. This goes until 8 o'clock tonight for damaging winds. Could be some small hail. I don't think there's going to be any tornadoes. They just, the system isn't set up for that out here just yet, but we'll have to wait and see as the few days progresses here. We'll start to see the potential for severe weather increase out across this general area over the next couple of days. Here's tomorrow's outlook. Slight risk out here. Again, I think tomorrow, damaging winds, large hail, maybe a few isolated tornadoes tomorrow afternoon. And then as we get into Sunday, here comes your slight risk again. This may end up being extended down through here. We'll have to wait and see. I think it'll come maybe I-70 northward or something like that. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Again, damaging winds, large hail, maybe a brief isolated tornado or something Sunday. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Here's the HRR, the rapid refresh model. This is by 21Z thunderstorms. Here you go out here. Hasn't broke out the thunderstorms out here yet, and it really, for some reason, the rapid refresh today hasn't picked up on that. In fact, you can see here's by 0Z, which is 8 o'clock, thunderstorms breaking out across Iowa. Lost my train of thought there for a second. A few thunderstorms breaking out here across northwest Montana. I really think we'll probably see some thunderstorms break out through here, and I think that's where your tornado threat's going to be. It's probably right on the North and South Dakota line there. So, if you're storm chasing the day, that's probably going to be where a lot of the chasers are going to start concentrating late as we get into later on in the day. It looks like the HI values really kind of spike there by between 21 and 0Z. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a few tornado reports. And knowing the northern plains, there'll probably be pretty large tornadoes, at least as far as size and coverage. All right, here we go. This is the 500 millibar map. This is as we get into tomorrow. Here's your 500 millibar low, kind of dipping in. This is really causing a lot of upward momentum out here, so that's why we're seeing the storms today, as well as the potential for storms out here tomorrow. This is as we get into, or I'm sorry, that was actually today. This is tomorrow's, and here's your trough digging in here. And then there's where your storms are going to form, is that we kind of get that upward motion coming up through there from that trough. And then as we get into Sunday, you can see the trough kind of, it's starts to kind of fade out and becomes more elongated here, and we start to see not quite as much vertical lift around that trough, and I think that's why we're kind of going to cut out the tornado threat. Sunday, even though we still have a little bit of momentum there, we're really going to cut out the tornado threat because it's not going to be a real intense momentum. And then as we get into Monday, here we go, trough digs into the northeast, and then here comes the next trough coming in, and your big high pressure system still down here bringing heat in, but the only thing is with the troughs coming in, we may see a little bit of a heat break out across this portion of the country here. We'll have to wait and see how far south that gets and how much of a break we get. Here we go. This is as we get into tomorrow. This is the NAM. Here's your thunderstorms breaking out across northern Indiana, and then your thunderstorms breaking out across the slight risk area out into Minnesota as well as Wisconsin. And then as we get into Sunday, here's thunderstorms breaking out across the Midwest here. High pressure system still dominated. We still see a few thunderstorms break out along the ridge. There we go. Next slide there. And then as we get into Monday, you can see here's that little dip right here, and that's where we're going to start to see some relief. Is probably going to be out across this area here. We might see a little bit of relief from the heat, and especially from the humidity as a front starts to push through, because here's your low sitting up here, and your front's kind of trailing back through here. So we'll have to see how far down that goes. I think we'll get maybe from, say, Louisville northward. We'll get a little break in the heat and humidity next week for a couple of days before it, builds back in with this big, of course, the big ridge sitting back here. So tropics, this is Tropical Storm Cindy. You can see still spinning out here, still a tropical storm. Winds are at 50 miles per hour, but no threat to the mainland. This is post-tropical cyclone Brett. This has maximum winds of 35 miles per hour, and then you can see almost like a little eye right there, but you can see it still kind of spinning out here across the Atlantic. And then, of course, we have Hurricane Dora the Explorer here. It has been downgraded here, a maximum winds of only 85 miles per hour. We do have gusts to 105. Center of circulation is about right there, and you can see it's still spinning out there, and it's forecast to kind of come up here, but it's going to weaken into a tropical storm there. So this shouldn't pose too much of a threat. And then we do have a new tropical system that is formed down across the Caribbean and the Gulf, and will eventually go into the Gulf here. It looks like this is tracking it right across the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cuba, and eventually throws it somewhere up in here. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out, over the next several days. See if this thing starts to, develop. Obviously, if this can, cut south of all these and kind of, right out through here instead of going over landmass, and, we would probably see some tropical development. So, anywho, we'll wait and see what happens over the next several days with that. That's pretty much what I have for you today. Stay safe out there. It is very, very hot across the eastern portions of the country. And so anyways, that's all I have. Thanks for tuning in to Leading Forecast. You can view this on swiftchaseteam.com or thedailyforecast.net. Have a great day.